Hello, and welcome. I thought I would do a little news on Billy Mitchell today. If you don't know who Billy Mitchell is, I'm gonna tell you. He was the first person to be recognized to reach 1 million points in Donkey Kong. Also the first person to get a perfect score in Pac-Man on an arcade cabinet in front of a live audience. I've been following the story ever since the King of Kong documentary. After watching the documentary, I felt bad for Steve Wiebe, just cause Mitchell was so arrogant and Wiebe seemed kind-hearted. Just a little while ago it was brought to people's attention that Mitchell was accused of playing on a MAME emulator, which is against the rules if you're competing on arcade cabinets for Twin Galaxies. I believe they do accept emulator scores, but not for this because emulators can be manipulated so much, like save states, etc.
For MAME 116, this girder has a little finger drawn on it, and that is particularly notable. This is the only version that produces that kind of effect, and it is nothing like original hardware, which would have a much, well, a known and different method of drawing. So, with that in mind, be on the lookout for this little finger as we go through and actually look at Billy's performances. So, on the left is the actual MAME transition taken exactly from recording on MAME. And on the right, you'll see Billy's 104 and 105 million scores. And right away, we can watch some of these transitions, and you see that magical finger. So again, this is an artifact of just poor emulation on MAME's part, and can only be created by MAME. This finger will never occur in original hardware.
So after accusations and a little investigating, they stripped Billy Mitchell of all his records and accomplishments, including the records he set for Guinness. I actually can't believe they took away all his records, especially Pac-Man. There is no doubt in my mind that this man is an unbelievable Pac-Man player. Plus he has a new Twitch channel, and I watched him play. It was amazing. He calls himself Billy Pac-Man. I will leave a link to it in the description. I have to say, seeing the documentary and seeing Steve Wiebe always ready to play, and Mitchell just sending in videotapes, does seem a little fishy to me. I heard he was recently playing Donkey Kong and got a score of 674,500, which is really good. He did not do it on his channel. It was on another one. There is no doubt that he has retro gaming skills. I know he does not like this situation. I find it kind of cool that I can see a retro king in action on Twitch. That's my little take on this controversy. If you haven't seen King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters, and you like this type of retro gaming, I recommend you check it out. You can find it on YouTube for $2.99. I don't know if that's to rent or to buy, but you can see it for $2.99. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Peace out.
Ready, go!
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I play video games.
It's the constant drive to be the best at something.
When you want your name written into history, you have to pay the price.
The fact of the matter is, Bill is the best classic arcade gamer of our era.
I've probably seen Steve with tears in his eyes more than any other guy I know.
Oh, he's just come up short in a lot of things in his life, and I just think nobody wants to do that all the time.
Well, Donkey Kong, without question, is the hardest game.
That's a tough machine. People think that the machine is possessed.
The average Donkey Kong game doesn't last a minute. It's absolute brutality.
The mysterious player from the West Coast, Steve Wiebe, is here.
He could beat it if he'd have to have a really good game.
You want to put a score up, you're competing against everybody in the world.
It's not even about Donkey Kong anymore.
He's a very devious person. He works things out to his ends very well.
Well, Billy Mitchell always has a plan. World record at headquarters. Can I help you?
Well, maybe they'd like it if I lose. I gotta try losing sometime.
No matter what I say, it draws controversy.